Hello, our beautiful hammerheads, and welcome back to Talk Heresy to Me, Episode 3, the miniature hobby podcast brought to you by two idiots who have no idea what they're talking about, but doing so with the confidence that you are being tricked into believing that they know what they say. So, in this episode, we are going to talk about our favorite Primarchs. So, let's begin with number 3. Who is...
Can we just talk about what have we done as hobby?
Oh yes, so
Like always.
I was so excited about this topic.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Like me the last time.
Yes. Yeah, hobby progress. What have you done last week?
Well, I received my Horus Heresy box set, and I have done everything except 40 Space Marines. They're the one that need to be finished last.
Because there are a lot.
Yeah. I mean, 40 apiece and a lot of options.
Yes, I remember a time in which 30 to 40 models were a complete army.
Yeah.
In 3rd and 4th edition, and now this is just peanuts. I love this. And I hate it at the same time.
I made the calculations. It's just around about without options around 1,500 points.
No,
1.5k. That's not much. That's a lot or not much, depending. In 40k and Age of Sigmar, it's a lot. In Horus Heresy, it's not that much.
Yes.
Because Horus Heresy is 3k, 4k games are the top.
This is quite scary for me because it's a lot of models, but the Warhammer Plus battle reports were really, really fun, and it just looks amazing. And I love this new plastic models. I'm so excited for the next ones.
Yeah, the big fear I had, because I heard a lot of people on Twitter talking about, the Spartan, it's such a complicated build, and it's such terrible, and it takes so long time. It was easy. It was easy.
The majority of the younger audience of the game, they don't know the fear of pewter models, the old models of metal, and super glue wasn't as good as today, or the cyanoacrylate, which is being used. I don't know, it was maybe the mixture in which the super glue was made up, but everything broke. You just have to move the model and everything broke.
That's why there was this Abaddon the Armless joke.
Yes, but I love that joke.
Oh, the joke was classy. Yeah, and what have you done, brother?
Not much with painting. I finally got to paint a little bit of the Warhammer Plus Windicare Assassin, and I was a little bit stupid because I could have painted the majority of this part of the model in one go, but now I finally almost have finished his body armor, but the majority of hobby time went into part 1 of my Horus Rising in-depth review, because it was almost 2 hours of recording. 20 minutes of those were me cursing, which I have to edit out. 10 minutes was basically I had to run after my cat and dog. So 1.5 hours, and it's just too much. And this won't happen again. So I don't know if I should just re-record it with less information or just put it out into the world, because I will timestamp every chapter so people can leave the video, come back, and just watch where they stopped. But it has so much information. It's really you can see that the first 3 to 5 books were planned as the beginning of the Horus Heresy, and they did not know, okay, how popular will this be? Will we really make more of this? And it just blew up, and then, okay, now we need filler books. Like, what was it? Yeah, Battle for the Abyss is not a great book. I'm sorry to say this because it's Ultramarines and loyalist world eaters against word bearers, but it's not a good book, and this review will go by far faster than the first 3 to 5.
Haven't read it yet, so a bit, or in my case, listened, because thanks to Audible, I can listen to all these nice audiobooks. And I'm currently at Legion, the 7th book in the series.
Battle for the Abyss is after Legion.
Yeah, I think it's 9 or 10. Yeah,
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't want to count.
I just finished Descent of Angels.
Yeah.
And it was nice. It was
not
nice.
Sponsored by Audible, by the way.
No,
but Audible.
We're not sponsored by Audible, but Audible, if you like us, we are big fans.
I have over 150 audiobooks on Audible, so yeah, hi.
I have not that much, but quite enough.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was hobby time. Now let's get into the meat of our subject right now. Favorite Primarchs.
This sounds a bit dirty.
I know, and I love it.
Yeah.
But
like
sadly,
we say, there's
it's
always
not Fulgrim in one of our lists.
There's always a bit Slaneshi in our like from the very first episode. Whoever watched this first starter episode, which aired before Corona hit us, yeah, where we had all these big plans of playing here together and battle reports, and there is a camera hanging up there above my gaming table, unused signs. 3 years.
Yes. But with Horus Heresy, the box, if mine finally would arrive, it's still stuck in customs, but yeah.
Well, I have here around 4k points Iron Warriors.
No. We probably will play with a little bit of unpainted models because I'm such a slow painter, but playing will motivate me. I know this because I have made this experience 15 years ago. Playing motivates me to paint.
We'll batch paint them.
Oh no, I can't batch paint. I will paint every model as a single.
Thanks to Karn as my test model, I already know what colors I want to use. I have them all right behind me. So it will be base, yes. shade, layer, done. Next model, base. 50 for all the models just in one row.
Okay. Your number 3, or do you want to do honorable mentions first?
No, I would say first the number 3 and then the honorable mentions, because in my case they make a bit more sense.
Okay. Your number 3, who is it?
My number 3, well, on place number 3 we have, of course, Horus Lupercal. It's always on number 2, and he will hate me for it.
No. Not.
Oh, yeah.
We are first yours, then mine, and then we move up the list because I have a plan. I haven't told you because I wanted to surprise you as well.
Okay, so number 2, because he will hate me for this. The little guy over there is Perturabo.
No, you told them. I had a plan. Just. Okay, number 3, Horus. No, I won't cut this. This is too funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Why is it Horus?
Okay, why is it Horus?
Why is it the War Master?
Why is it the War Master? Well, for the fact he is the most the most important person in this entire franchise because it's literally named after him. It's the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
Also, I had there this short story that I read last week, and it was about his his younger years on Casonia, and it was really sad.
Which
And
short story was this? I have read something akin to
me,
this. I forgot the name.
give me a second, I just check out Black Library. Okay, the short story was Lupus Demonis.
Okay,
It's
no, that
from
wasn't mine.
it's from the Horus Heresy Traitorous Skynes collection. It's a short story collection. They have Prince of Blood. It's the chronically first story with Ankron. It never appeared somewhere else. It plays even before after the Shea.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so chronically is Prince of Blood, then after the Shea, and then the Ankron Eater of Worlds book. Not Eater of Worlds. Karn was Eater of Worlds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
Okay,
also a nice story called Lantern's Light about Mortarion, and it's also really nice. It's a nice collection. So in Lupus Demonis, we learn a bit more about a character who is outcast on Casonia, but he's not really. Yeah.
Wait, is it the one? Maybe I have read this. Who got bullied by the one guy? He's basically his main bully, and they're both being elevated to Astartes level. Was it this one?
No.
I have read something on Cathonia, and the main character got bullied the whole time until he got elevated.
Yeah, no. This one, yeah, he got also bullied because he was different, but he always knew he was something more than the others, and he was. When you read the other stories, the Primarchs, they rise, they grew big, their muscles literally explode. And this one was
The Hulk.
yeah, and he was just a small young boy. He had the age of the boy, and he was a small boy. He was complete white because he lives in the underground his whole life. And it was a sad story. He encounters at one point on the surface the Mechanicus while they take the burst capsule from which he was taken. And he managed to kill his Skitarii and steal his weapon. Yeah, goes down back to his tribe, and yeah, so there was a beacon in the rifle, and the Mechanicus, they start to drill down, and while the entire cave around them breaks down, he stands in front of his foster father, who was also quite a bully to him. And it was there a ritual that you became a warrior and got your warrior name when you kill an enemy in battle. So his foster father started to verbally attack him and make him small and bully him till Horus took a knife and killed him. And then his foster father just hugged him and told him his name. His name is Horus. And in exactly this moment, started a reaction in his brain, and he literally grew in one moment to a massive Primarch.
Nice.
Yet it's described like this. He was such a puny little, and right after he killed, the Emperor was like, "Now you're ready."
Sweet.
Yeah,
You're my little murderer.
Yeah, the Emperor has such a connection during the book as small, and at one point he says to Horus, "It's not time yet," and the moment he killed for the first time, bam, it's time. And this was such a sweet story. It showed the horrors of Casonia. It showed Horus who just wanted to be accepted by everyone else. And the end is Horus stand then in front of the Mechanicus, who crawls out of the termite and is like, "So, who's next?" This short story was just one reason. Well, most likely because he's Horus.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's for me place number 3 because he's Horus. It's who everyone who had read the first 3 novels of the Horus Heresy series knows why Horus has to be at least mentioned, if not
Yo.
in the top 3, at least in the honorable mentions.
Okay, he's not in my honorable mentions, but I have him in another list, which is very important for me. But I will tell you this at the end. Okay, my number 3. It was a very, very close call, but it is strangely Corvus Corax. Yes, I know. But
Who?
he's such an interesting character for me. He's not as involved as the other Primarchs in the Heresy. He's basically just fighting a guerrilla war on Ist-1-5. He is almost so he kills basically Lorga if Konrad Curse wouldn't show up. He would have slaughtered Lorga. And his eternal vengeance is still up into the 40k timeline. He's the one Primarch of the Loyalist side, as we know right now, who's basically Korax Unleashed. He is so warp infused because he knows that every Primarch is made with a little bit of the warp in them, and he just taps into this power and becomes this raven demon hunting Lorga through the warp. And this is so amazing. Also, his model is really, really sweet from the Forge World line. So this was why he is my number 3 of my Primarch list. I'm so excited for Korax Unleashed, the model. But it has to come with Demon Primarch Lorga. So that it does make sense, but this will not happen in the next 5 years.
No, first we get Demon Primarch Ankron.
Oh yes, I'm so excited for Demon Primarch Ankron. So, your number 2.
Your number 2, I already said it, idiot.
Yes.
My number 2 is Perturabo.
Totally understandable.
Yeah. So like I said, I love characters with a complicated character with a lot of problems, and who has the most problems rather than Perturabo?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Konrad.
Basically,
Konrad is a very.
I read this novel called it was in the same collection. There was a novel and there was a bit backstory about Perturabo, which played before his appearance in the Perturabo novel. And so he grew up on this planet on Olympia, and it was basically like this. Someone was like, "Oh, you killed this one monster. So what do you want?" He said, "I want nothing." And this guy was, instead of saying, "Oh, thank you, if you want nothing, how about you stay with us?" He was like, "There's also another monster that you can slay for us." So it was basically, "Hey, thank you for helping us.
Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Yeah, we give you some food and some help and stuff, but we don't really, ne?" And this entire story, his entire life was like someone used his abilities for their own sake.
No.
And it's such a sad story to see how he got slowly over the time corrupted, not by chaos itself, but by man. He got corrupted by lesser men, and this is quite sad, up to the point where his own sister, his adoptive sister, so he was adopted by the ruler of Olympia, and he had such big plans for Olympia, common places, bars, houses, even plans for peace. But his father was the entire time, we need you, you need to make us weapons for war, we need to conquer the whole planet, we need to slaughter our enemies. And he doesn't want it, he wanted peace.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
like about Perturabo.
Yeah, and this entire, it's like the fact he doesn't drink alcohol, because the first time he got someone, a guest, reached him a goblet of wine, it was poisoned.
Yeah.
So this was basically, oh yeah, here I heard you're such a great smith, on your honor, and yeah, wonderful. Hey, you have there a gifted youngster, let's poison him.
Yes.
Because you're envy. And this entire reason why he's so envious, and why he has this little petty fights with Dorn and with actually everyone else, with Manus, with Dorn, with Gilliman, is because he was raised like this. It's not his own fault.
What
And
I
this
love
is
about
it.
every Primarch is that they have flaws.
Yeah.
I love flawed characters, because none of the characters in 40k, Age of Sigmar, or anything else are really good.
Yeah.
Everyone has some minor to really major character deficiencies, let me call it like this.
I mean, look at him. Perturabo walks out. The Emperor gives him a task. Hey, kill this Xenos race and kill them, and he does it. He lost a lot of men, and his psyche has suffered beneath this, and he never got a thank you. So
Yes.
not once the Emperor said, "Hey, good work, thank you. You did it great." And he suffered from this. He saw how the Emperor goes like, "Dorn, you get your, you are now the Praetorian of Terra. You get armor of aura might like mine. You are the champion of the Emperor." And he's like, "Yeah, but I suffer the casualties.
Yes.
My men are dying. My people are revolting. What about me? How about thank you? Maybe a hug?" It's really kind of sad, his entire being, the way he got tainted by humans, and this is why he's my number 2. He was so much more and ended up actually so small.
Yes.
And I feel this on a bit personal level.
But he leaving the Siege of Terra.
Yeah. Great moment.
This was, I don't know. I still can remember how I felt at this moment. I was so shocked that he just got up and left, because he saw, okay, I'm fighting for Horus, but what is so different now?
No, it was more like I wanted to fight Legion against Legion. I wanted to have an honorable fight. I wanted to show them that the way I plan this war is better. For him, it wouldn't ended with, it just would have ended if the inner palace wall fell. And he would say, "Dorn, I have won. I have stormed your walls. I'm out of here." Or he would even go against Horus and say, "I have achieved my thing. I don't need you anymore." Because he just wanted to show, yeah, I can take the Imperial Palace. I can beat Dorn in his own game. And this was everything for him. And the moment it was like, yeah, and now we have chaos-infused titans. We have the Gal Warbug running around. We have demons. He was like, yeah, this is not my war anymore. Ciao, bye, I'm gone, adieu.
I love this moment.
It was so ballsy.
Yes.
It was just a ballsy moment. I mean, none of the other Primarchs would have looked at Horus and said, "Bye."
Yeah. So, okay.
You're number 2.
My number 2.
You're there.
Yes.
I have to remember, because by me you are there, but
for
by
me
you
it's
you're there.
mirrored. This is so weird.
Yeah.
My number 2, Magnus the Red. Not only because I love Psychers and Thousand Suns are basically yes, but for me he's such a tragic character. He was loyal up until the end, and it was just a decision which the Emperor gave him at the end, that he turned traitor. And I don't know, he's such an intelligent person. He's so wise beyond measure, but still he's so naive. And my favorite quote for the whole Thousand Sun army, or the Legion itself, is from the second Ahriman book, in which the Dark Mechanicum pilot Carmenta tells Ahriman that he's so wise, he can see so far beyond into the future and in anything else, but he does not see the cliff in front of him. And this is so Magnus. He knows everything. He can see into the future. He has visions, and he is so intelligent that he can plan almost everything. But yeah, every journey starts with one step, and also this step can yeah, well, you can fall off the cliff with one step. And that's what he's basically doing. Oh, I love this. I love tragic characters.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Shall we talk honorable mentions right now or after our number ones?
After the number
Okay,
one.
who's
Yeah.
your first?
Well, my first is someone who I don't think he would end up on many lists on first place, because he doesn't get really mentioned often in any novels, and it's really strange because he's a key player in the Horus Heresy. It's the Primarch Ankron.
Yes.
There aren't many novels with Ankron. There are 2 novels and 2 short stories where he is a major key player in the stories. And it's the 2 I mentioned before. Actually, his 3 novels which play before the Horus Heresy, and then he's a key player only then in Betrayal.
This was against the Ultramarines.
Yeah, against the Ultramarines, where he becomes at this point, through a ritual, becomes a demon Primarch. And so there are a few short mentions of his actions during the Heresy, but there aren't any big novels, and it's actually kinda a shame. He appears in Not False Gods, in the 3rd Horus Heresy novel with Istvan III.
Flight of the Eisenstein.
No, this was the 4th.
Was this the 4th?
Yeah, the 3rd one, Horus Rising, False Gods, and
Galaxy in Flames.
Galaxy in Flames. Yeah, he appears in Galaxy in Flames, but not really. He doesn't have a big entrance. So he is actually just in a few short stories here and there, and he doesn't have really big mentions what he has done in the Horus Heresy beside his Shadow War with Lorga together. And it's a bit a shame, because he's actually a quite complicated character.
The problem with Angron is not only that the Black Library pushed the story at the beginnings at such a fast pace that they had to make him a demon Primarch, but after him becoming a demon, he's basically just a ball of raging fury. He's not able to speak anymore, and he's just, I don't know, he lost so much of his character. Also, like Khan, so in my opinion, I like Angron and his backstory because he's basically the psychiatrist brother. So this was his original purpose for the other Primarchs, that he's talking to them and infusing, no, not infusing, he picks up the emotions, the negative emotions of the others, and just nulls them, voids them. I don't know how to say it. For lack of the better word, he negates the negative emotions, and then butcher's nails.
Yeah, it wasn't just the butcher's nails. It was so Ankron. Let's say he had a talk with the Emperor before the Emperor decided to just teleport him away, and he was like, "Yeah, if you have this legion above me, why don't you send him down here?
Yeah.
Because we could need their help. We could free this entire world." And the Emperor was just like, "Yeah, no, I don't see it like this. I don't see any reason why I should help you in your little pity war. You are coming now with me." So instead of reasoning with him and saying, "Yeah, I sent you your legion, you free this world from its chains, and then you join our," it was more like, "Yeah, I just need you as a tool. You're nothing worse anymore with this butcher nails in your head. I don't really have any use of you besides slaughtering everyone." And it's kind of sad because there was a moment in the short story where they dropped out of the warp, where Ankron was a demon Primarch at this point. So they dropped out of the warp, and there was silence on board of the Conqueror. And Karn went down into his father's lair to look after him, and Ankron was slouched down in a corner, and he was shivering and was calling with a low voice after his father, because he felt he doesn't belong in this world anymore. The warp calls him. He doesn't belong in this world anymore. It's not his, and he was afraid.
Yes.
And this was a sad moment, and Karn talked to him, and Karn is also, if he was a Primarch, he would be my favorite, because he has the butcher nails, he has the pain in his head, but he still managed to talk with a soft and friendly voice, and it's so strange, his entire being. And he talks with Ankron, and Ankron just saw then Karn's godchild, the ex that belonged to Ankron, and Ankron was just like, "Why do you need me anymore? Why do you keep me chained? Why do you hold so dear on me and on this useless weapon that I throw away? Why can't you just let me go and let me be?" So he was actually begging for them to just let him go into the warp, just let him be as he wished to. He doesn't want to fight anymore. It was kind of sad to see him driven from actually someone who could absorb others' emotions, others' fears.
Absorb! This word, I was looking for this word.
He absorbed them and nullified them in the process. So he felt what the other felt, but he could blend it out, and then a part of his spine and his brain got replaced with butcher nails, and he wasn't even that much angry. He could keep his anger and his wrath. He could keep them and lock them away. There was in one short story a nice scene where he was just sitting next to one, with the boy, and he just he hugged him calmly. He knew he could with one hand crush this little boy, but he just hugged him, and like everything will be okay on the next day. And the next day was the big massacre, where he was teleported away, and it's such a shame what he could have become even with the butcher nails. And afterwards he was like, "Yeah, you want my Eater of Worlds. We managed to destroy an entire town within 23 hours. This is one day on our blade of Nicaria, and you get 32 hours to kill entire world. If you don't manage, 1/10 of your legion get killed." And this was up to the point where he demanded that they install the butcher nails into his legion. And from this point onward, this was the first time he respected his legion. Where he official said, "Now you are my sons."
Yes.
And he's such a complicated character, and you feel that he was really sad. And unlike other Primarchs who return to their home world, or afterwards and recruited from his homeworld. He first came back to his homeworld, and he doesn't recruit it. This homeworld belonged at this point to Gilliman.
No.
Yeah, Gilliman took it in, and he recruited from every planet where they came across, but not from his homeworld, because he felt a bit ashamed to be ripped out of his most important battle in his life. So yeah, he's my number one out of these reasons, and now you're number one.
So my number one isn't a great surprise, because it's Robert Gilliman, my favorite son, because I love just how his main priority is learning, like with Magnus, not only because I love the color blue, and also Thousand Suns in the future are also blue armored with gold trim. There is a theme, but they basically want to learn more, they adapt, and this is what I really, really love. And it's not only that they're leaving compliant planets behind with a working social structure, infrastructure, and anything else. And his stoic nature in not Betrayal Cult, No Fear, the book, in which Lorgar attacks his legion, and he's just like, why are you attacking us? And after that, it's just like, okay, this is the situation, I will deal with it. And then he just punches word bearers in deep space and without a helmet. I love this part. Or also the other part in which the Alpha Legion infiltrates his inner chamber and tries to kill him. He's unarmored, has no weapon, and he beats the crap out of the Alpha Legionnaires who are disguised as Ultramarines, and I love this part. And also that he's right now in the 40k timeline. But my theory is still that he's alive because in his mind, in his warp mind, he just heard, oh, Thousand Suns have blue armor. And he's so shocked. That's my color. So, but also he really, really regrets to have raised the city of Monarchia when the Emperor just told him, yeah, Lorgar screwed up. Destroy the city. And this is in which the Ultramarines are really portrayed as evil. And this kind of shocked me, but of course I knew that no one is good. But it was just so heartbreaking, even for me, to see how the city of Monarchia was destroyed by the Ultramarines. And how he tries to cope with the loss, and that he never wanted to do this. I really want a discussion between 40k Lorgar and 40k Reboot on how he deeply regrets his deeds in the Horus Heresy. So yeah, that's why he is my number one.
Cults was deserved.
No, it's not. Your honorable mentions. How many do you have?
My honorable mentions. I have 3.
Okay. Who are they?
Just a quick number.
Who?
Okay, quick. So we have of course Lorgar.
Yes.
He's the main man behind the entire Horus Heresy, so he has to be an honorable mention. Magnus the Red. Without Magnus the Red's involvement into this entire action and his small ego problem, the Emperor would have slaughtered Horus at the first whim. Yep. But he was bound to the Golden Throne because Magnus did something, not everything, but he did something wrong. He did one thing wrong, and this was enough.
It was more than one thing.
Yeah, he did one small thing wrong, and from this on, started a chain reaction. So Magnus did something wrong. And of course, my favorite after Descent of Angels, I had to place him back on the menu. It's Lionel Johnson. No one of the Primarchs managed to split more than half of his legion apart by just being so I can't describe it without insulting him, because his entire reason was stupid.
Yes.
He created a problem that exists until the 41st millennium, because he had small issues with the one or other with his brothers or sons, and his entire Luther loved him.
Yeah.
Sir Luther loved him like a brother, even until the end, even until the fight. And afterwards, I read the novel Luther. Luther could have killed him from the first moment. No, he loved him. He could have killed him a 1,000 times in between. He loved him still. He still loves him in the 41st millennium. And the Lion makes just one stupid decision after the next. It's sorry, but the entire Horus Heresy could have been over in 5 minutes if the Lion was was less himself.
I understand, because he's one of my honorable mentions as well. Not only because of all that, but Kairos Fate Weaver tried to lure him to chaos the whole freaking time. And I don't know if he's just too stubborn or too loyal. It was just like, I hear whispers. I don't care. Maybe it's just stubborn. My imagination. I don't know what his thought process is. But yeah, a demon talks to me. I don't care.
Stubborn. He is stubborn. Pure stubborn. There's this one short story who is actually about one of his captains, and a watcher visits him and says, the lion has to return to Caliban. He has to make peace with Luther, and he has to unite and go into Terra, or Caliban will be forever destroyed in the future. And he tells this, and Lionel is just, I don't go to Luther. I won't go to him. I will talk to him when the time has come, and not earlier. This. And when he returned, yay, there's the lion, fire!
Okay, my number 2, so I go in Legion order, is Vulcan. I love Vulcan. The big bro who hugs everyone, who loves everyone, but still burns elder children to a crisp, like a barbecue in midsummer. This is so weird. I love this, but I just love the salamanders. So, and my number 3
Vulcan lives.
Is yes. I forgot my number 3. Sanguinius. This is embarrassing that I forgot him.
Glorious Hawkboy.
I just love Sanguinius, but this is a pretty easy one. I just don't like his model. Without the demon diorama base, it just doesn't make any sense. This is so weird. Just sell the diorama base as a separate piece if you are too afraid to sell him at such a high price. So weird.
It doesn't feel right without Kabanda.
Yes. It really needs... it's missing something. But okay, now I have 2 topics. One, I will make the one first. So, the law of the Horus Heresy is better than 40k. Because...
Agreed.
I don't know how you have followed the latest gaming news. Do you like Final Fantasy VII? Just yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. The one thing Final Fantasy games, or basically role-playing games, have, the ones with great stories, they have one enemy. The 40k problem is we have so many races. If you make one the grand enemy, someone will be left out. So if you have Abaddon as the greatest enemy, you forget all the Xenos players. You forget Imperium, so the traitor Imperium players. And I don't know, there's so much you forget. Eldar and so on and so on. In Horus Heresy, of course, we have just basically two factions. But we have, he's in the name. He's the title player. Horus. He's the Grand One. It's like Sephiroth. He's in the background, but whenever he's there, he really destroys stuff. Everyone follows him because he is strong. He is a real threat. The Emperor is there. He's on one side. And then there is Horus on the other side. We have two great characters fighting against each other. And storytelling wise, one single enemy is so important for me. That's why Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII is so iconic. He shows up in other games. I don't know, whenever you put Horus into any other kind of 40k fiction, you know, okay, now the crap is starting to boil and someone will die.
You see, this is
30k story. Sorry, not 40k.
Yeah. You see, this is what I love between them. In 40k or Age of Sigmar, when someone dies in Age of Sigmar, he somehow survived, or
Yes.
he becomes a Stormcast Eternal. When someone dies in 40k, oh yeah, we don't know if he is dead or not. That's the same with Tychon. Tychon, we know from the Blood Angels he is dead, but they still make his model, they still make his rule. He is still somehow in this game alive, we don't know. But when in Horus Heresy someone dies, he is dead. This is the major player. This is like a Song of Ice and Fire. When someone dies in a Song of Ice and Fire, this person is dead.
Yes.
There's no happy ending, no story where they come over and I somehow survived this. In some cases, but they're different. It's this. You died, you're dead. And this is something I love in Horus Heresy. Oh, we spent this entire novel about this character. We love this character. This character is dead. He will never make an appearance in any other novel. And you will spend your life wondering what if. And this is the great about Horus Heresy.
This is also like with Lord of the Rings, Sauron. Yeah. You have one big bad. Everyone knows him. Everyone knows whenever he appears, people die.
Yeah.
And you have to gather a whole army to fight him. Yes, this is one thing I wanted to talk about, because the second part of Final Fantasy VII for the new generation of consoles is coming out next year. And this got me thinking about why I am so excited for Horus Heresy. Because it has one big bad evil guy and not 10,000 like the one with the Necrons, the Eldari, the Drukhari, the Tyranids, the Gene Stealers.
The League of Wotan.
There are so many factions. I love that there are so many factions, but we are missing one big bad evil guy. And it is so hard right now to put one as a neutral faction into it. It would be possible, but you would have to hint. Oh no.
He just got a revelation.
The Dawn of Fire series. Oh no, I have to make in-depth Dawn of Fire reviews now. Oh no. Okay, I will reread it and then I will tell you about it.
Yeah, so yeah, this entire one big we see it, the entire Primarchs, if they are now normal or demon Primarchs,
Yes.
they are each one an individuum, especially the one on the traitor side. But Horus managed to unite them all. And once he was gone, everything just shattered. The
Yes.
Mechanicals did their thing. The Primarchs did something they could before they disappeared back in the warp or just decided to leave. And it was just Horus. And Horus is, I'm honest, I'm missing Horus in 40k, and I kind of wished he would have survived, because yeah, 40k is missing the one big evil. Because when you say, oh yeah, we make Tyranids the big evil because they try to eat the whole galaxy, what's then with Chaos? What's with the Necrons and their plans? What's with, what else do we have? What's with the Drukhari? What's even with the Eldari?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's with the Tau?
Yeah.
It's you take one for the big evil, and everyone else is this small.
They tried this with Age of Sigmar, and it kinda worked for an edition with Nagash in 2nd edition. This was great. I love this. And now the destruction side, but Kragnos is almost not there anymore.
No, it's the big bad guy is still Archon.
Yeah, but he's so much in the background.
He is in the background, but he's also a bit in the foreground, so he is in itself the big bad guy. But there are 4 factions, and each faction has their own, and Sigma is not even the good guy. That's this.
Yeah,
he wants the best. What
Archon is Sauron because he has a tower.
Yeah,
and he just sits in there.
No, he doesn't sit in there. It's the rule. Archon has a throne which he will never sit in.
Yeah, okay, but he's there just because you have the Knights of the Empty Throne. He has a tower. That's the thing.
He has a tower. He has a throne, but he is never in this tower. Never in this throne. There's a knight novel where one champion tries to become a Reverend Guard, and he sneaks.
The Red Feast.
No, another one. No,
wasn't it Red Feast?
No, it's one of the older Age of Sigmar novels. This series from the 1st edition. I have all 10 novels out there. Yeah, from the Ramgate Wars. So this guy sneaks in and he tries to assassinate Acheron, or at least try to force him to make him a Reverend God. And while he does this, one of the or how are they? You know, his 9 loyals, the Sentients.
The Gaunt Summoners.
Yeah, the Gaunt Summoners. A Gaunt Summoner appears and says, Acheron doesn't sit on this throne, and he will never sit on this throne. And he isn't even here, but you know what? You won the contest, you become a Reverend God. So yeah, he is the big evil, the big tower, everything is big, but he is never there.
Yes. So okay, last topic. Then we have to bring this to an end, sadly.
And you have to cut it down.
Yes. You will hate me for this. I know it. And we will get so much crap in the comment section.
I can't hate you.
Yes, you will, because of this topic.
Sad.
I'm sorry, this is just...
Is it female Astartes? Is it female Astartes? Okay.
Because I have an idea.
Okay, listen here. Female Astartes.
Astartes.
Astartes. My point to this. Possible? Yes. Should be in the law? Yes. Should be 100%. I'm fully behind it. And I tell you one thing. If the Emperor would have allowed Ankron to win his little war, there was one warrior, female warrior from his group. She had only one leg, but she had an anti-grav spear, which she used to fly around and just slaughter people left and right with this anti-grav spear.
I forgot her name. She was so awesome.
She was awesome, but I forgot. And I tell you 100%, if this entire went down like, oh yeah, here I give you my legion, he would have went to them. You make her an Astartes. But we can't. The genes say, you make her an Astartes. And they would. And this entire talking would be over.
Yeah, but
this is my 5 cents to female Astartes. Should they be in the lore? Yes, they should be. Why? Inclusion. Done.
yes, first of all, I would buy the crap out of these models.
I would never paint them because I hate painting faces. Helmets are easier.
Yes, but how to include them in the lore? This would be so easy.
Malkador. Malkador does every kind of he does everything because he likes it. So Malkador.
Yeah, but not only the 2 missing legions. Of course, we have in the lore in the old Horus Heresy series that they're talking about their brothers and so on. And we have some proto Astartes for the 2nd and 11th Legion. But we have Fabius Bile. In his series, in his trilogy, he says having a singular gender doesn't make sense. It is in the lore. Fabius Bile says that. But we know that the Astartes, that the Primarchs have a mother. Because somewhere has to come the
Edda.
female egg. I love her character. Now I lost my train of thought because we got interrupted.
Fabius Bile. Fabius Bile.
Yes, Fabius Bile for the 40k timeline.
Yeah.
But how great would it be in either the 7th Siege of Terra novel by Aaron Dembski Bowden, that whenever they breach Lion's Gate, Eternity Gate, that they are basically just swarming the palace and they're discovering this. Oh no, the gene seed wasn't on Terra, it was on Luna. But whenever they're finding the gene seed, that they're finding also for female Astartes, or that there was a project for a female Primarch, or they make a novella, because we already have Sons of the Selena, in which the Orphans of War are on Luna fighting against the traitors. So, I don't know, it is possible to include female Astartes and a female Primarch right now.
Here comes a little thing. So in the short story Lantern's Light, Matarion reflects upon the Astartes, and he is on his way to meet his father in space after spending another year on Barbarous. So he reflects on the Astartes and is like, from his army on Barbarous, only a part could be taken. One part was too old, and one part was from the chromosomes not compatible with his gene seed, and he finds it an extreme shame, and it shows that the author also thought that female Astartes would make sense, and also it shows also one thing: they just told him there can't be female Astartes. He never tried it because they told him it doesn't work. There wasn't any try in any novel for female Astartes. It was never tried in any novel. Oh, can we make female Astartes? It was just someone told us we can't, so we don't try it.
Yes. So, but now for the 40k timeline, Belisarius Call.
He's somewhere over there.
Have you read his novel?
Nope.
It is so great. And he has memories of the Emperor because he talked to him. And what if, because he can't remember everything, he basically has some SSDs which he switches into his brain to remember certain things. And they could just put an SSD or hard drive, I don't care what the information storage is, into him, in which the Emperor or Edda just tells him how.
About the Primarchs, there's a nice the Lost Primarchs. There's a nice mention that in the Ankron Primarch novel
Hmm.
that it wasn't one of his legionaries talks about that they could rebel against Ankron and the way how he tears their legion apart, and one said, yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that a legion rebelled against their Primarch. It would
Yes.
actually be, it happened twice before.
Yes.
So we know that a huge number of Space Marines got included into the Ultramarines
Hmm.
and another legion after the two Primarchs disappeared. We know one is dead of the two Primarchs, and the other
Yeah,
one
because
is
Limras.
yeah, and the other one disappeared. So it's pretty much easy to make up if they had a mixed gender in
Hmm.
their legion, that only the males rebelled against the females. And
That would
the
be
female
so funny.
and the females stayed loyal to their Primarchs, but the male brothers rebelled against them, and
Hmm.
the male brothers was then split up, and one of the female was killed, and the other female disappeared.
Yes.
And so they took their
No.
legions with them. It would make actually a bit of sense.
But also, Thousand Suns, flash change.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird and strange, but they're all dust now. So the majority of them.
Everyman has this new cover with the ne?
I love
He's
his
a-
new armor.
he's-
It is so stupid.
He's a bit cold.
Yes.
It's a bit cold with this armor.
I could hang my jacket at this spot.
Yeah. And you thought the breastplate horns from Magnus were stupid.
Yeah, they are stupid.
They are stupid. He goes like, "Oh, I look down, and he lost another eye." So can we wrap this up? My food is standing here.
Yes. Yeah, I know we opened a can of worms right now, but I don't care.
I will talk about the subject more in this podcast.
Yes.
We need female. Wait. We need female Astartes. Games
Yes,
Workshop,
I'm
make them
totally
happen.
for it.
Make them happen. Halo did it. Halo did it great.
Oh, yeah.
It's your turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kelly, the Spartan to Kelly, fastest Spartan, fastest reflexes, best close combat warrior.
Yeah,
she's better than Master
the majority
Chief.
of Halo
Yeah,
information out of my brain after Halo 4.
I have the books over there. She's better than Master Chief. So Games Workshop, if Microsoft can do it, you can do it.
Yes.
So female Astartes, I want them next year.
Oh no, it will take them another 3 to 4 years.
I want them next year.
Now.
I want them next year.
I would, as I've said, I would buy them. And I would
too.
ignore other projects.
Yeah.
Because I love Space Marines, and if we would have more of those, it's just a win for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a topic for the next episode, please let us know in the comment section down below. Also, we now have a Coffee account. If you are in the mood to give us a little bit, then you can do it there. If not, it's totally okay. We will make content anyway. It would just help us get a bit more better equipment to edit and record. And yeah, if you don't like coffee, also let us know. Then I will create a Patreon account. I usually did not want to do this, but everything is kind of getting expensive for the PC. And yeah. So yeah, topic accounts for next episode, please let us know. If you have any other thoughts and questions, also write them down. We are keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is fun. Hitting buttons is fun. I can't talk anymore. I'm tired.
Give us a like, ring the bell.
Yes. Have a great day, my
subscribe.
friend. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
And we will see you in the next video. Bye.